Greetings, friends. Me, Wayman, and heading home from work. And this is a video going out in response to the Lily White video, and also response to the Thunderfoot video, Bible for Beginners Part 2 or 3, whatever one he's talking about. Lily, glad to hear you're doing fine. I think you should sell your story to the directors of House. They could probably run it. It would sound like it'd be a good House episode. Thunderfoot, go back to talking about science. You suck at religion. I think you have a doctorate in science. Maybe you need a doctorate in anthropology and religion. See, I think that, in general, religion had safety triggers built into them so they wouldn't be able to run amok. Because currently there are no checks and balances in religion, when originally there was built into them. I think Judaism uses this a lot better than Christianity does. I think the safety mechanism in Judaism was you were allowed to suspend the practice of Torah or break a law if it saved a human life. So, say for example, if you get a lot of the examples in the New Testament, pulling an ox from a ditch, or helping out the person that's beaten and robbed alongside the road without fear of being unclean because the guy needed help to have his life saved. So I think that is a safety trigger. Safety triggers in Christianity would be stuff like loving your neighbor as yourself. Now, if you have to break the laws of Christianity, love your neighbor as yourself, I would do so. And I think other people should, but we don't. We walk by the guy, like the story of the Good Samaritan. The guy's laying beaten alongside the road. We don't want to become unclean. We walk right by him because of our Christianity. And in the end, Christianity, it becomes a selfish desire. And the reward of heaven becomes a selfish desire. So the safety triggers that were built into the belief systems, I think a lot of them do not work. So another thing, I also think that I really believe that religion runs so much deeper than what we're trying to portray. Rather than viewing it, rational or irrational or logic, whatnot, belief systems run so deep. Their personal identities are shaped around belief systems, national identities, cultural identities. It puts the person within the universe, and it gives them a role in the society a lot of times where otherwise they would not have a role. So practicing rituals, it includes the person into the society, and therefore it ends up being important. And I think that Thunderfoot at times is asking the Spartan to become Persian. You know, they're not going to do it. They're gonna fight to the last man, and they're just going to die on one big heap. And it's not going to happen. And another example would be Maccabees 1 and 2, where forced Hellenization was happening from Antiochus IV on the Jews. Tons of them were killed. They wouldn't do it. Same thing, Jews bowing out to the Romans. You have the temple destroyed with the revolts that were happening. And even special Roman laws were made just for Jewish citizens as an exception because of their belief system. So I see that as pretty fascinating. You cannot walk up to a person and ask them to give up their cultural identities, their national identities, and their social identities, and just throw it all away. A lot of times that was done, but a lot of times it was trying to. It was almost stamped out. In some ways, would force the assimilation, like here in America with the Native American Indian tribes. But you have the scrolls from Qumran. You have the Nag Hammadi library. So things always, whether it's in a cave, whether it's buried, whether it's dug up from archaeology hundreds of years later, things are always passed on. Old gods never die. They're just assimilated into new deities. They're all there. The characteristics are there. They never went anywhere. And they're always manifested in some way out of the human subconscious, and they're personalized. So, what do we do about this? What do we do with abstract expressionism coming out of the subconscious, told to your friends, told to your neighbors, and acted upon it within the community? Sometimes it can destroy the community, and sometimes it can bring the community together. The abstract expressionism coming out of Ezekiel's mind to the community thwarted assimilation and kept the Jewish people together while living in a foreign society. They were totally picked up and moved, and the belief system accommodated that. And I think a lot of times the belief systems fail people today because they don't accommodate the lifestyles of the people. People say, well, we can't give up, we can't change. If you're in a process of life and death situations with forced assimilation, it needs to change. Or the people who are having the struggle, it won't apply with them, they won't identify with it, and like Job's wife, they'll be told to curse God and die, or curse God and assimilate. But there will always be Job's friends. There will always be the temptation to assimilate. That's what I believe the serpent was trying to do in the story of the Garden of Eden. And I think that when it's looked at that way, like if that text was written before the Babylonian time period, from the priestly text in the documentary Hypothesis, that's the strong, very strong message that was given for that. Do not assimilate, because if you do, the day you do, you will die. You will lose your national identity, your personal identity, your cultural identity, and you will be alone, and you will die that way. But I don't know, I just wanted to share those thoughts. I'm a huge fan, Thunderfoot. I got the Thunderfoot bumper sticker. I'm on the Thunderfoot fan club. I got the Thunderfoot t-shirt, and I know the secret Thunderfoot handshake. And if you get time, could you send me the Thunderfoot decoder pin? That's the only thing that I lack. I mailed my subscription out last month, and I have not received that yet. So if you could get that to me, it'd be awesome, because I really want to decode the secret messages that you put in your videos for your fans. So take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking